Year-old kid.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, no, this look. I've spoken about this before. The planet goes through a cycle of every 12,000 years. At its pinnacle, it is at the furthest point away from the sun in the orbit. But this orbit takes 12,000 years. And the furthest point away from the sun is when you're getting the ice age. And then when you're getting close to it, it's going to heat up. It's nothing to do with carbon emissions we are releasing because there are enough trees that can deal with the carbon. Simple as that. We have 3 times the amount of trees due to calculations that we can handle the carbon that is pumped out. There's something like 4 billion tons of it being pumped out a year, but we've got 7 billion or 7 trillion trees that can handle this carbon.
Yeah.
So,
but we're talking about global warming.
Global warming is the planet.
It's still happening. It would be happening.
Right.
From what you just said, it is happening.
From a natural,
but from naturalistically,
a natural point.
it is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not,
global warming is a real thing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not the stuff that we're pumping in the air.
It's still a thing.
It may be warming up because, like,
we're not helping
seasons,
but it's not making a major difference because
like
it's happening on a
galactical
every
seasons.
I don't really think
seasons.
it's more. I don't think it's going that far, warming up that much. I just think that the seasons have moved. You know, and they say, because rainy season used to be April. We're in May, and it's only the past 2 days I've been seeing a load of rain, heavy rain. You know, summer is moved over to like more September.
Yeah,
you're getting warmer Novembers.
Yeah. September used to be winter,
but you're getting colder.
Personally, I feel like it's getting hotter here when it gets hot.
When it gets hot, yes, it's getting hot because we're getting closer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So naturally, it's happening.
Yeah, but not to the degree.
There's a geezer, I can't remember his name, and he's a scientist or something. He's a educated geezer, and he has explained the way the Earth is heating up or not heating up, and where they've taken. It depends on when you're taking your measurements of the hottest part of the times and that are, right? Because if you say, oh, in the last 2 years it's really hot, then yeah, we're hot. But over the course of something ridiculous amount of years, we're cooler now than we was then. Does that make sense? This guy was saying we had tropical weather here. We had elephants and fucking rhinoceroses and shit down the River Thames. So I don't know.
Good. Did you hear about global warming when you was at school?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah.
The first thing I ever heard about global warming was in my teens at some point. I can't remember which teen.
That used to be the ozone layer.
Yeah.
They blamed
the ozone layer. Yeah, the ozone layer. That's what I'm saying.
It was all glow. Every 10 years there's another thing.
That was kind of my point. Is like I remember the ozone layer. That was like from school.
And it was like, because you're using spray cans.
Yeah.
Or in fridges.
Or fridges.
CFC
or
gases,
anything
basically.
else.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like fed information sort of thing. You know,
bullshit.
this is my point. Like I'm saying, like if we weren't fed that information, you know what I mean? Like how much of a impact has it had?
Well, it's the same as COVID. If no one told you it existed, you'd never
you
fucking
would have carried
know.
on. Yeah.
But the ozone was blamed on the gases that we're doing from air fresheners.
And not only that, but from the time that I learnt about the hole in the ozone layer to now, it's actually repaired itself. And then another guy as well said to me, if you look, it's got smaller. It got smaller. But another guy said to me as well about the importance of the hole in the ozone layer. If there was no hole, you would have no exhaust. You would have no way of the gases releasing. You would swell up like a balloon. What happens if you put a balloon and you put gas inside it? It swells up until it pops. If there was no hole, the fucking planet would pop. The atmosphere, would pop. You have to have it. You have to have a hole in the ozone layer. Without the hole, it swells up to a point that was uncontainable. You'd have no atmosphere. So it's all there it's not like
no. I listen.
They're trying to tell us like what it's something that it's not, and it's like
look. It's like the magnetosphere, our north and south. How it's flipping.
Right. Oh yeah, we heard about this as well. Yeah.
It's already, they can tell it happens every X amount of thousands of years by the metal filaments inside rock. Yeah, so every X amount of thousands of years, ellipse from, so north will be south and the south will be north if you brought out your compass. But in doing that, it has to weaken, they're saying it has to weaken first and then it flips and then it starts to gain strength again. But in that moment of the flipping and the weakness is when we are most vulnerable to the solar flares and
just the radiation from the sun.
Yeah. So they're talking about planet ending and this, that, and the other, and everything is a doom and a gloom. These people want to push. Yeah. You know, so
they've been pushing fear for so long now. Like I'm done with it. Like I don't like you watch anything like, and even the internet now has kind of taken over the role of the propaganda machine that used to be the news. Like you notice how the internet has changed over the last like 5 to 10 years. Like 10 years ago, where it used to be kind of like a funny, like place to be, and like you know like you could. It was the internet was like
for gaming and emails.
Yeah,
and it's much more of a serious
now
tool.
It's become this propaganda machine. They've took it over. We didn't think it was going to happen. We had like the anonymous thing, like when we were teens, and it was like, oh, they won't take the internet, but they took it. It's done. They took the internet, and it has become that propaganda machine that used to be, the news and anything like that, but. It's all become that, and it's coming from both sides as well. Like the thing is, you have to be careful about kind of having too much of opinion on one side or the other, because even if you're pushing back on one side, you're really only giving energy to the other side to push back again. So you really have to just stick with ignoring the narrative and actually living by it of reality, like the impact on our daily lives.
I think listen, if you knew the world was going to end in a week, right? What would you do? You're going to spend all your money. Well, I mean, obviously, money's still being taken. Why? I don't know.
Does everybody know?
Yeah, the whole world knows.
Then it'll be fucking carnage.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, you got a week.
I don't know what you spend your money on.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
it's going to be...
You're going to go and do the...
Mob bros.
I mean, yeah, but say, let's hypothetically speak here in respect that, all right, forget the world ending.
Okay.
Let's say you have a week to live.
Oh, so everyone else gets to live, but you've only got a week.
That's
different to the scenario that you said.
No, I'm going to flip it in a minute. But you got a week to live. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no, but it's important to
you're going to try and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're going to go and buy what you can buy. You might even, instead of buying it, get it on tick, because you ain't going to be around to pay it. You know what I mean? So you're gonna do crazy shit.
What are you getting onto?
No, right. His point is this is why they feed us the fear. They feed you the fear so that you spend your money, so you don't. I see it all, man.
That's where I was. That's the route I was going down. They put these fears into you.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, this crazy notion of electric vehicles. For a start, well, stupid idea. It causes more harm to the planet than what it does. Creating the car and running the damn car. It creates a lot more, and getting rid of it, when the batteries deplete, and
8 years.
It costs a lot more. Costs a lot more to the environment, and all these people drive. All right, the end result of driving it up and down is not making any emissions, but when you charge it, it's making emissions. When the battery dies, you're poisoning the planet.
When you make it,
yeah,
to fabricate the thing.
Exactly. Also, all those things, you're damaging the planet, and you're trying to tell me it's eco-friendly. How is it producing something like that eco-friendly, and idiots are going out there and buying it? They're going, it's good for the environment. You
say that to the poor fuckers down the mines.
Yeah, breathing all them poisons in. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just don't understand. And we're supposed to be living in a world that's educated. I mean, like, I left school with no education. There's a couple of dudes here are educated, and one's probably like me, and we're trying to, and like we have a collective nonce between us to look at it and like, really, and the governments are pushing this for a cleaner planet, and you got that, what's that Greta weirdo berg Go- Yeah, man. I mean, like, she's like with a freaky face coming. Shame on you. Shame on you. Listen, it's not the people, right? It's the companies. Yeah. So
Well, the
we
companies
know
do
this.
what the consumers
You know,
want. That's
you're
the
there
problem.
just because
Here
you're a
lies
kid.
the problem.
Hold on,
That's-
just because she's a kid and trying to push like for a clean planet and like, yeah, fine. So we all want that. You know what I mean? But don't just start trying to make the normal person feel guilty because we're doing what we can afford to do. And now they make these cars outprice. I mean, like, they're talking mortgage money, man, to go and buy one. You know, for the normal Joe. So if you can't afford that, you're stuck where you are because you're not allowed to go in there. And then you got the 15 minutes. What the fuck do these people want? And this is what I'm saying. People, open your eyes out there, man. Like, this is not a conspiracy channel, but you got these.
You're going to see it like on a basic level, like, this should be recyclable, this thing. For me to recycle it, I've got to take this plastic off. Plastic should be recyclable. And put that in the bin, and I can do the bottle.
So they want you to do the job for them.
Yeah, they want me to do it. And then a lot of the times you can't even recycle some. You got to check. All plastic should be recyclable.
Exactly.
Put it in recycle bin.
Exactly.
If it's not, you shouldn't be allowed to sell it.
Yes.
Or you should get increasingly fined until you rectify it, and then you can't make your product.
Well, look at those plastic straws. They've banned plastic straws now. You can't get plastic straws unless it's online. You know, they're now paper. Or if you see a lot of them, they're selling their metal. You get metal straws.
You got a plastic cup there.
Yeah,
A throwaway plastic cup.
I know. What am I to do? You know, I don't want to get glassed.
We're in your house.
I know.
Who's going to glass you?
I don't know. Someone might get upset with me and say glass.
with your own beer.
I don't know. You know,
You're the only one drinking. You can glass yourself.
Well, I got to watch Ollie. The bottles. Why aren't them bottles plastic?
Tastes better out of glass.
It does. It does indeed. Yeah.
It's
So
still got plastic.
yeah, I mean, look. I didn't say I'm here the savior of the bloody. You know, I'm not an eco warrior. I do my bit. You know, as best as I can. I mean, like, they're on sale. I'm buying it, and then hopefully they can do something with it when I put it in the recycling box because it's plastic.
Yeah, we should get recycled now.
I recycle. I put everything in my recycle. I put the cans in the recycle, paper in the plastic in the recycle.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If that's not recyclable,
How do I know that?
You can fuck up the whole thing. Like it like ruins the process because there's non-recyclable stuff in there.
So what should I do? Put it in the general household rubbish,
Yeah.
so it gets buried and doesn't decompose.
I don't know. They shouldn't be making this stuff, should they? They should make
Exactly.
everything recyclable,
Exactly.
and there should be just one bin then,
Yeah.
the recycle bin, or like the
That's a lovely hypothetical.
food. Yeah, but they've got the power
You
to
have
do
have
it,
something-
and they should
no,
put it
no,
in
well,
place.
listen, you have to have something to replace it. Listen, I'm not for plastic, but it's the best thing we've come up with so far after thousands of years.
Yeah, why
So you
isn't it all
have to have
recyclable?
something to replace it. You can't just say let's not have plastic. That'd be great.
never
You
said
have
that.
to have something better to replace it.
No, it should be recyclable. So you just use
It's
the
a
one bin and put it
hypothetical.
in.
It's a theoretical idea rather than actual. You know, like you have to have something to replace it.
Why can't
or-
they make all plastic recyclable?
I agree. I've asked myself
I'm
why
just
don't.
asking. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no,
You're saying I'm not. I'm saying replace plastic.
yeah.
I'm saying make it recyclable. Put it in the bin. The bin is you take it out and they go okay, boom, and it all gets recycled. It goes to them. They use it.
But you're saying words, but you're not thinking about it. What do you mean by recycled plastic? If you melt it, it burns. If you clean it, it's still dirty. What do you mean by recycle?
Well, what do the companies?
It's a made-up word. Like,
So what? They don't use any of this.
no, I'm just saying how. Like, it's great to
Wait,
say.
I'm not a
plastic should be
recyclist, I'm not a
recycled.
scientist, I don't
Like,
know how
it's
to
a different-
recycle this
It's
shit.
different with glass because glass, so you can melt it down and make more glass. But plastic, if you melt it down, it burns. It causes toxic in the atmosphere.
So how-
Plastic.
So
sorry,
how
it-
is this recyclable? Then?
Exactly.
This is my point.
How do they mold
you're-
it
So
again?
you're made. It's a made up. It's a made up thing, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Like you're being theoretical about it rather than.
I don't know. I assumed
I
when
thought-
it says this bottle's made from 70% recycled plastic. Is that not a real thing? Is that a lie?
This
What
is
does that
I'm-
mean?
Well, this is what I'm. This is like the how. Like that's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm assuming they can do it. Otherwise, it's a lie.
You were assuming. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were assuming that you can do it. It's like.
Sorry,
We don't-
guys, we're
we don't
coming
have
to the end
anything
of this.
better.
We're coming.
We
Sorry,
don't-
Ollie.
Yeah, go
we're
on.
coming to the end of this segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the other side.